Once you have built your first coal power plant, it's time to immediately set up some basic steel production, because you're going to need a lot of steel to unlock all the milestones and to build all the Mark III conveyor belts to in turn build more steel production. But before you start the cycle of upscaling your factories, I recommend to research the Criterium tree in the MEM and build a simple production adder node. Place a few assemblers and make the trip back and forth for some copper sheets, so you can produce some AI limiters, which will give you access to light control panels, power switches and smart splitters. The Criterium research tree lets you also unlock the zipline, which in combination with the power towers makes for an excellent way to get around. Phase 2 is mainly about building up your network. The earlier you invest in automating and connecting everything, the more time it will save you in the long run, which can feel additionally overwhelming, especially after you just gained a lot of stable power to use and having to run back and forth all the time. To avoid this, make sure you are organized, build a personal assembler at your hub and an enclosure for your lizard doggos. Anytime you need a break from placing platforms and machines, go out into the world, clear your path until you find a lizard doggo, tame him with a paleberry and bring him back. They can gift you valuable items you won't be able to produce yourself yet and can help you tremendously with unlocking later milestones this way. At this stage you should already have automated some base production, like iron plates, iron rods, screws, because sometimes you'll need screws, reinforced iron plates, rotors, modular frames, smart plating, all the copper products of course, concrete, and if you want to you can set up some black powder with coal and sulfur. The main challenge, however, will be the steel production. You're going to need to produce 240 steel per minute. For that, build 6 foundries and 8 constructors. That's as many as you would need if you would produce only steel pipes, and underclock the constructors who are going to produce steel beams to 50%. This way you are flexible in how many items you want to produce. I recommend a ratio of 3 to 5 in favor for the steel beams, and to switch it up later when you need it. Build some storage and an awesome sink, and sort your production line out with a smart splitter. Honestly, I don't know why I built 2 smart splitters here, one should be enough. For our next step, the state of production, you're going to need to smelt 120 copper ore per minute and turn it into 240 wire. It will be used up by 6 assemblers, set to state of production, which will also use up 90 steel pipes per minute, which means you should switch up your steel pipe production back to 5 constructors. The remaining 3 constructors, building steel beams on 50%, should still be enough to fully automate the encased industrial beam production, which I shamefully omitted in this example, because I was using all the steel beams to build space elevator parts. The Blueprint Designer, one of the milestones you can unlock, can be a very powerful tool. For example, you can build a simple platform with a constructor that's already connected to its respective merger and splitter. The next opportunity and the last item on your list is going to be the rotor production, where you will need to build 12 constructors in a row and 2 additional groups of 5 constructors above it, which each will produce 200 screws per minute, supplied by the iron rod production from the lower floor, which together will feed 4 assemblers producing your rotors. The iron rod construction will consume 180 iron ingots per minute. Since I already have prepared for that in phase 1, I only needed to upgrade the belts and miners and reconnect the smelting array. By automating your rotors and stators, you basically also automated your motor production, and together with all the other parts you have automated, have now completed phase 2. You also could build some modular frame production at this stage, but since they are not immediately required and are a topic on its own, I will cover them in a separate video. At last, there is the topic of the space elevator parts. Just produce them in a separate assembler, and when you're done with the rotor factory, they're probably already finished. The challenging part about phase 2 isn't the unlocking or the manufacturing part, but to make sure everything is automated and ready for the next phase, which mainly means the steel and the motor production. So that's it for today's episode. Tell me in the comments if this was helpful, and I hope to see you back in the next episode, where I will explain how to build a super simple oil processing plant in just 1 hour.